want to sit as soon as they get in. Or they split their play.
Where's Luis? Yeah. The loudest trumpet player in the world.
We're leaving very soon.
You ready to go?
All these plants are perennials and they come back every year, and they are a key to our survival on planet Earth. To plant things that give food and fruit and flowers every year. That's what this garden is dedicated to. And this tower went down in flames a few years ago, and it's come back. And I want to point to this grape arbor because on the roof of the grape arbor are solar panels that follow the sun. As the sun moves to the east and west, the panels follow, and they feed this pump that runs the pond, so little fishies and turtles and who else? Froggies can stay nice and warm. So that's 6B, and let's keep going. imagine the garden that was here? It had a 25-year-old rose bush. It had this building next door in the first floor apartment. Doña Alicia would look out every morning when she woke up and she'd look over the garden. And the family saved the building and they created the garden out of rubble and broken furniture and tires and needles and rats. They created El Jardín de la Esperanza, the Garden of Hope. And when this garden was threatened, Doña Alicia and her family and all of the gardeners were betrayed. They were betrayed because the garden around the corner asked the city councilwoman, trade this garden for this garden. Don't take that garden, that's my garden. I serve elders. My garden is very special. Take this garden. That is not unity, that's not how we save gardens. So we encamped. We had a fence here with a 10-foot platform, and the platform was in the shape of a green leaf. And on top of that was a frog of Puerto Rico. 3 people slept in the frog. 3 people slept in that frog every night throughout the winter, 1999 to 2000. We put up a resistance. No, Rudy Giuliani, no. The destruction of community gardens stops here, right here. And we lived in the frog, and we lived in the garden, and we fed each other, and we fed anybody who came in. We'd have breakfast. They'd sleep in the frog at night. They'd freeze. They'd come out with icicles. Lovers would come and sleep in the frog. And we'd warm them up in the morning and give them coffee. And then, on the night of Valentine's Day, 2000, the police came. We knew they were coming because they started towing cars. They towed the cars on Avenue C. They towed the cars on 7th Street. They even towed the cars on 8th Street. And we got into our lockdowns. We put our arms and our bodies in the garden. And people were playing pots and pans and pulling out the plants and putting them in a safe place. And they took the beautiful rooster and they put him in the basement. And at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, the news came and they interviewed us. At 8 o'clock in the morning, Reverend Billy preached to the police outside. 200 cops, 150 people, and people all around the streets in support, and the cops in between, and sharpshooters on the rooftops. Can you believe it? The police. Spitzer was the Attorney General, and Spitzer was going to court the next day. It was a case of economic discrimination. It was a case to protect the community gardens of New York. And Spitzer called Giuliani and he said, I know what you're doing, get your cops out of there, this is contempt of court. And Giuliani sent the cops in and yanked us and pulled us out of our lockdowns and smashed the garden. And you know what happened? Because of that, the court decided that the city could not be trusted and could not come into a community garden, and that lasted 2.5 years, and that frog died, and as Aresh says, laid its eggs to spawn other gardens. So that's what happened here. And I just want you to look at the name of this church. The church right here, Gethsemane. Anybody know your Bible? Gethsemane was where Judas betrayed Jesus. The betrayal of this garden by the then present city council person and the poor misguided gardener around the corner, who, by the way, lost her garden too. We're going to walk past just a green grassy place that used to be her garden. So divide and conquer, you lose both gardens. a unity between the gardens of the neighborhood. And so he's created the Lower Side United Neighborhood Gardens, the lungs. He's created the lungs of the Lower East Side. And we have a CSA, thanks to Charles and Lungs. We have a CSA every Sunday, $10 a week. And we have a harvest festival and bands and dancers and musicians and tricksters and magicians and everybody playing in all the different gardens in a weekend in the fall. It's just a very special place, and I wish he were here. So Charles, Elizabeth, all y'all, where are you? Okay.